A Titan is defined as a person of influence. Through their character, talent, and willingness to serve as role models for future generations, Howard Morris and Danny Miles have set themselves apart from others in athletics and education. Tonight we honor these men as Titans of Technology, as they have brought great honor to Oregon Institute of Technology in the Klamath Basin. Both have received national honors for their athletic accomplishments. However, they are also devoted husbands, fathers, and grandfathers. On this Father's Day weekend, it is a fitting tribute to celebrate these men who are champions in the arena and in everyday life.
I met Coach Miles. I was a student at OIT, and after a practice, I had been told by one of my professors that he was looking for someone to keep the book during the games, and I had done that in high school. And so that was my first interaction with Coach Miles, the scared kid up against the legend. What he's been able to accomplish in his career is just amazing, and he's just been able to take a lot of things and run with it, but he does it by surrounding himself with good people, and he knows that, and he's not the sole person. You know, he's got to have the kids out on the floor perform as well. It's not just him coaching, and he knows that, and that's where he's been successful. It's not about me, or it's about him. Howard, for me, has been a great mentor. Since I became assistant director and then moved into the athletic director position, Howard was the commissioner for the conference at the time, and he's just been willing to sit down and have a conversation, go to lunch, talk about the issues, and just give general advice about how he thinks he would have handled it and stuff. And it's just been great for me to have two of the best mentors in the country right here in town.
It's amazing if you look at the qualities, and of course this is when I pull up, you always say M&M, and people say, oh, Mandolin Maris or Candy. Well, no, it's Morris and Miles is what it is. That's what M&M is. And Howard and Danny have a lot of the same things that they brought to the table at OIT. They both coached baseball. They both coached in football. Danny coached basketball. Howard coached wrestling. They're both Hall of Famers. Howard and Danny were both the OIT athletic directors at one time. Howard was Cascade Conference Commissioner, representing all of the schools in the Cascade Conference, of which OIT is a member. Danny won 2 national championships in 2004 and 2008. And they're both winners, and they're even better people than they have been coaches. And you know how great they are coaching, but they're even better people.
Hi, I'm Mike Moore, and I'm the Oregon Tech Booster Club president. It's an honor to share a few thoughts with you tonight about these titans of technology. I've known Howard Morris for a number of years through my church, but unfortunately was not acquainted with him when he held his positions at OIT. I can tell you that he's a fine and active member of our church, and he certainly is a titan in my eyes. I became a Hustlin' Owl basketball fan in the mid-1990s when I opened a Subway sandwich franchise on campus in 1995. It didn't take long for me to become an avid fan, because not only was I rooting for the Owls on the basketball court, but I was serving lunch to many of the players, coaches, and to Dan Miles himself. As I got to know these individuals associated with the men's basketball program, I could see why Dan Miles is so successful. Everyone, including Coach, is genuine, sincere, and very hardworking. The only way to talk about Dan is in superlatives. He is simply the best or most at what he does. One of the most touching things I saw Dan do was to dedicate this past season to my friend, the late Martha Ann Dow. But he not only dedicated the season to her, his team won the national championship. This accomplishment couldn't have been a finer tribute to Martha Ann, who, along with her husband Gary, was a huge OIT basketball fan.
Oh, it's about the team. It's about the other guy. I've been around in my lifetime people like this, but Danny is almost the exception to the rule. He is. It's always talk about the other guy. Danny is just the type of person that he is very humbled by it. In fact, when he won this last Champions of Character award for all the coaches in NAI basketball, or not just any sport, of all sports in NAI, he won this award. He was a finalist and won the award for outstanding character. And that probably meant more to him than any other award he's ever received, championships or not.
You know, it was comical when I first read Titans of Technology and Coach Miles, because anyone that knows Coach Miles and technology don't always get along. And I remember the time that he went to Europe to coach some camps there, and we were upgrading our computers. And so we never give Coach Miles a new computer. We always gave him a hand-me-down. But he came back, and that first day he was sitting at his desk pointing at where the button for the power for the old computer used to be. And the button was just 6 inches over. But, you know, he struggled with that concept. So you know, he has just done a great thing through his programs. You know, winning is a lot of what he's done, but he's had built the opportunity. Both him and Howard have had the opportunity to build the character and model for so many hundreds of kids here at OIT that have went on to do great things, and that in itself comes back to OIT.
Probably the most exciting game I saw the Hustlin' Owls play was in Nampa, Idaho in 1998. They played Bethel of Indiana for the NAIA Division II title. I had been listening to Bobby Thompson's radio broadcast of all of the Owls games at the national tournament that year. And after they won the semifinal game on that Monday night, I made plane reservations to fly that next morning to the championship game. I had to go because I knew everyone on the team. And what a game it was. The score was back and forth all night, and it came down to the last few seconds. I had never yelled so much or so long during a game. My voice was hoarse. Unfortunately, Bethel made the play down the stretch to win the game, and we were second in the country. But even though we lost that game, I'll never forget it, because Danny's team played with such class, and they never gave up. Now, that was the most exciting game. The best games I ever saw were the two championship games in Branson, Missouri.